Hello, my friends. I'm here post-surgery. This is one of my favorite new post-surgery shirts. I got it at Costco because I like to use my money to make money, not spend my money on wasteful things. And a lot of these button front shirts that I'm going to need post-surgery, I won't be wearing for very long. So I wanted something comfy and cozy. And this is like almost like, I don't know, I've never worn a fabric like this before, but it's very soft. And I still have my surgeon's autograph. Can't really move too much of my right. Whoa, look at that. You can definitely see where my IV was. Can't move too much of my right arm because they removed the tumor on the right breast. I decided to opt for a lumpectomy since my genetic testing came back negative. And they had to take out, they did a sentinel lymph node, where they cut it's about this big under my armpit, removed. She said she'd remove 1 to 5 lymph nodes. Funny story. I get in, I spent all day Monday dotting I's, crossing T's with insurance. The frustrating part of the journey is with job loss, you cannot file for COBRA until your last day of employment. Well, that takes about, anywhere about a month to just use rough estimates. I mean, you can expedite things and things can happen a little bit faster, but so it takes about a month. Then we get approval. I was told that we were going to try to get this done as soon as possible. We actually tried to get it done December 30th so that it would come in at the year end prior to my insurance with Ping Identity being terminated. And there wasn't enough room in the OR and their short anesthesiologist. So then that got bumped to January 10th. Well, the hard part about that is now we had to get COBRA processed, which we were able to do, and then authorization. So Monday, I spent all this time on the phone with the surgical center, the hospital, the doctor's office, the anesthesiologist's office, as well as my insurance company. So literally an entire day on the phone, making sure that all these 5 codes are approved and authorized. And it turns out authorizations take 5 to 15 days to complete. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how is this possible? We've got an aggressive high growth tumor, and how are we going to get this out of my body? So long story short, I finally decided, you know what? God, you say you're the God of miracles. Let's roll. I need big miracles. And thankfully, was able to get in for surgery on Tuesday. I get there, they couldn't find the insurance. I called, verified. We had a little bit of a snafu that I was calm, cool, collected, and then got worked up and had to calm myself again. I get into the little room where the nurse has a plastic bag for personal belongings and a gown that I had to change into. And there's 2 seats and then like a little bench. And it kind of reminded me of when I would take my daughter to the pediatrician. I would sit on those little chairs and she'd hop up on that bench and we'd do an exam. So I had organized my things in the bag and put the gown on, and I'm sitting in the chair and the nurse comes in and she says, oh, you can sit up here and I'm going to take your vitals. And that's when it hit me. Oh my gosh, this is one of those gurneys, like in the shows, like in ER or Grey's Anatomy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the tears just start flooding where I realized I'm going in for surgery. And all of a sudden in that moment, everything got very real. And I told her, I said, I'm really sorry. I was trying to be strong and hold it together. And this is just a little scary. And she said, it's totally okay to cry. And then this jubilant anesthesiologist comes in and jokes about how I'm perfect. And just because I didn't have a lot of history of how I would respond to some of these things. I am allergic to penicillin. And he asked, how do you react? I said, in all honesty, I was like 9 years old. I don't remember. It was a rash, is what I was told. But in all honesty, I don't remember. So he went on about different prescriptions and said, I'm going to go ahead and put just a few drops in. This is related to penicillin, but most people aren't highly allergic to penicillin. They just have had one adverse reaction. So we'll see how your body reacts. That was the last conversation I remember. I then get, fast forward, the surgery happens. I'm just unaware of it completely. I didn't even get to see the operating room. I missed out on so much fun. So I get a nudge like on my arm and this woman saying, Jennifer. And I said, is it time to get started? And she said, you're done. You did really well. And I'm like, wow, great. This is awesome. And I felt a little pain. I would say, scale of 1 to 10, 3.75. Well, I wouldn't quite go 4, but it was a little more than 3.5. I'm that kind of person. So get home and things felt really good. I think that the month of detox, the month of, loading my immune system, immune enriching foods. I would just Google and make it fun. Foods that boost your immune health, foods that promote gut health. Your gut is a big controller of your immune system. So your brain and gut work together. The other thing that I had learned along the way was the importance of your thyroid, that your thyroid controls your immune system. And so your thyroid, when you give it gluten and inflammatory foods, goes into overdrive and it's blocking. It's having to work hard to process those foods. So I'd made it as easy for my body as I possibly could. I looked at it from the lens of, all right, we're going to the Super Bowl, baby. This surgery is my Super Bowl. I don't want to put my daughter through this again. Seeing her yesterday morning, she was so tired, knowing that all this is part one of the surgery is finally done. Poor little thing had bags under her eyes. I'd never seen her look that tired. And I thought, I'm never putting her through this again. There's no food that tastes good enough for me to put my family through this. So I've gotten very disciplined about that and recommitted. So basically looking at it like we're going to the Super Bowl, I've got to prepare, right? Professional athletes prepare. So I prepared my body. I did my workout routines, got my nutrition on point, reduced all the inflammation possible so that my immune system could be strong. I did a lot of meditation. I mean, a lot, like 10 minutes every morning, because I'm not a morning person. So that's not the best time for me, but I committed 10 in the morning and then 10, 20, or 30 in the evening, depending on the day. Got my mind right. And then decided I'm going to invite the Almighty God to this game plan because he says he's the God of miracles. He says he's the God of healing. I need that kind of person on my team. And I just asked God for big things and in bold ways. Like I used to pray like, oh God, could you please? And I learned, no, when you go to the Almighty God, creator of this universe, all of abundance, source, whatever you want to call it, you go big, baby. So I was like, God, I need you now. I need a miracle. I need miraculous healing. I need this tumor out of my body completely. And so I am just elated to be feeling so good, to know, yeah, my arm's a little stiff and I can feel something happened, but I'm here pain-free, able to talk to you. Just not quite able to do 2-arm jumping jacks yet. I wanted to also just share the love and beauty of the human spirit. I couldn't have planned. I love to plan. Those of you who know me well, you know, I was probably born with a planner in my hand. I would plan every second of the day, even when I pee if I could. And I love to plan. I love to execute a plan. I'm strategic planning by nature. However, with this, it's been interesting. I don't get to know. Even now, I don't know what my next step is. I know it's going to be radiation, chemotherapy, or hormone therapy, or a combination of those things, but I don't get to know until they study that tumor and these lymph nodes. And even after that, we've got to play with how does my body respond? I mean, at the very beginning of this journey, we didn't have a lot of information. We thought, oh my gosh, given the aggressiveness of this tumor, we're going to have to do a full mastectomy. And then we got more information and then more information and more information that led us to lumpectomy. So babies, you've got to get ready for some shift to happen, right? We have to be good at embracing the shift. That's why I'm here creating this channel. Today's shift, there's a lot of negativity in this world, a lot. I mean, I get it every day too. Shouldn't you be worried about this? Shouldn't you be worried about that? Shouldn't you be thinking about this? And I feel like I'm in this tug of war where my soul and my spirit is aligned to God and I can feel the doors opening in ways that aren't really easily explainable for me. I'm a very logical, mathematical, science type person. These things don't make sense to me, but they're working. So I'm like, okay, who am I to question, right? Turns out I don't actually even know how a phone text message is sent, like how a photo goes from my phone to your phone, but I use that every day. So I don't have to fully understand. I finally surrendered that part. The second shift though, is in that tug of war to say, yes, I need to be balancing risk management and financial management, yet I also have to live with joy in this journey and healing. And so yes, the world's this awful place. Cancer's horrible. Joblessness is difficult. There's a lot of tough stuff. But we don't have to live each day in misery and in fear. So I'm here actually filming it in one of my closets. My master has this kind of weird closet. And so I was receiving so many beautiful things that I decided to make this side of the closet. You'll see I've got a poster that Gigi made. I like to write love notes to her and put them on our mirror. And she started doing that back to me, and we made an art collage there. And then I have like one of my favorite little notes from her. You're the best in the world. I'll never, ever let go of that. That's one of my favorites. I love brilliance, so be brilliant is there. This is one of my favorite gifts of all time. I love you, Mom. So this is kind of just like my little spot. I pass by it a lot, and I want it to be a place where I see things that bring me joy. That's been an important part of me career building and growing in my life, overcoming some obstacles. So what we have here is, this was one of my first gifts. It's so beautiful. This is from Christy Spencer. Hi, Christy. Christy was one of my favorite graduate students. Yes, they say teachers don't play favorites. That's a lie. Teachers have favorites. I've got lots of favorite students. And Christy wrapped this. You can see the beautiful pink ribbon that is taped in the heart, or in the shape of the breast cancer awareness. And it's one of her friend's mastectomy pillows. Because at the time, when I was first diagnosed, we thought that it was going to be, sorry about that, a full mastectomy. And then the sweetest card and just most thoughtful words. And I hang on to that. I read that every day when I'm feeling a little discouraged. It's your words, your comments, all those things are like, it's natural to have those ebbs and flows in tough times. That's why we're here together to lift each other up. One of my favorite gifts, this was a surprise. I go to pick Gigi up from school and she's carrying this. And I was like, that's weird. She's not in art class. That's not one of her electives this semester. And I mean, look at this thing's gorgeous, right? Like it has a little, oh, I can't use my right arm like that. Let me try to, here we go. That's better. I'm right-handed, so this is my day. Trying to use my right arm, realizing I can't. Not yet. Look at how pretty this is. It truly brings me tears. I love kids more than anything. And to know that one of my daughter's friends, we just moved here. It's not like we've been here forever. This little girl I've known for, I don't know, she's had one sleepover here. I've known her for only a couple months. She made this for me in the colors of breast cancer awareness to give me hope that I would get through this tough time. You can just count on the hearts of kids for goodness. I love it. I just love it so much. And then as we come on down the line, we have just more miracles. This is a blanket that they gave me when I was first diagnosed and met my nurse navigator. It says, "We have you covered, love and prayers surround you." And then there's a nice note on the back. It was from Southeast Christian Church. They wrap these blankets as part of their giving campaign, and then they pray over them. And so you can kind of surround yourself in that love. Sometimes when I get a really beautiful gift, I have a really hard time unwrapping it and actually using it. So for me, it's like I wrap myself in my snuggle blanket that can get dirty. This one's beautiful and white, and my dog coming in from the farm would probably have this dirty in no time. So I just keep it here in a place where I see it every day, and I remind myself of those prayers. Then here's where things get real beautiful. Well, actually, let me do this one first. This one of my favorites. My daughter has a sweet little friend named Sophie, who they've been friends since kindergarten. Her first day of kindergarten, I'll never forget picking her up. And I said, "What was your best part of school today?" And she said, "Meeting my bestest friend, Sophie." And Sophie was just here for a sleepover 2 weeks ago. And I didn't know that her mom had had a full mastectomy, as well as her mom's aunt. And these two women came during pickup down and just gave me the biggest hugs and brightened my day. And she brought me this gift. "I'm a survivor. What's your superpower?" At that point, I hadn't survived yet. So I was still kind of like, okay, I'm a survivor. And man, the power of what we tell ourselves matters a lot, right? So I keep that here just so I see it every single day. Then I have just a few little things like stress relief lotion that Gigi got me. And now we're going to get into some real special stuff, because these things are all from people I've met in the last month, which kind of blows my mind that someone who doesn't even know me, I've not earned I haven't done anything for them. They're just good people. It's amazing. I met this woman named Jen at a training last month, and this is hard. It was the same week I'd had my layoff and diagnosis, and it was that weekend. And most people would sit at home, right? And I was tempted to, but I know I'm not at my best when I sit at home and feel sad. So I might have to finish this in a moment. I have some movers here. Okay, turns out that was nothing. My dog just freaking out about nothing. So these next few, so I met this woman named Jen, and it was my first weekend after diagnosis. I was at a training on how to build an online business, and we hit it off. She's another geeky doctorate type, and we stayed in touch. And just last week, she came over and brought me and Gigi these beautiful little bracelets. Mine says, kind heart, fierce mind, brave spirit. And Gigi says, braver, stronger, smarter. And it says, on the days when you wander, on the days when you start to falter, on the days when you can't see the light through the fog, let these words echo in your heart, that you are braver than you believe, stronger than you feel, and smarter than you think. May these words help you find the strength you did not know was inside of you and gain a volume that you never expected. Let them resonate in your soul and take you to new heights. So I've kept these here. I like to wear mine. It's easy to put on and off, but I like to keep it there also in my kind of treasure trove. Then there's get this. So I was recovering from my concussion. I was in a call at Ping. We had this thing called Random Coffee. And I was on a call with a gentleman who was new to the company. And I had, during my concussion recovery, had to wear sunglasses to be on the screen all day. And I would get some bad headaches. And he said, my wife sells this stuff called doTERRA. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And it's called past tense. It's really great. He goes, you're going to love this stuff. I know it sounds hokey for me to be promoting this. Sends me not only past tense, but a calming one that's on my bedstand. And 4 others. I mean, I've spent an hour with this human being, right? And he tells my wife about what's going on. And I get this whole collection of beautiful fragrances to help me find peace, find calm. That's so important. Then, get this, I come home from surgery. My neighbor, who just had surgery herself, we were discharged the same day. Hers was overnight. She made a cold pressed juice because she knows I'm a geek about health and how much I love nourishing my body. Cold pressed goodness. This is like gold, my friends. This right here. And to know that she made it from the bottom of her heart while she wasn't feeling that great. I had a neighbor last night bring me mung bean soup. This morning, another very healthy soup delivery. I'm telling you, as a planner, I couldn't have planned this better myself. It's so much easier to just say, thank you. Thank you to everyone who's carried me in your heart and for the joy. And I hope that those of you who are feeling alone right now, maybe just learning, one of the things I do really well is I've become a hermit crab. I just get in my own little shell and I kind of bottle up and protect myself. And I'm learning that's not healthy. That's not how we're meant to live. We're meant to live in community. We're meant to support each other. And so if I can support you and pay it forward in any way, I would love to. So you just reach out to me and I've got you. And I know that others do too. This is how we keep ourselves afloat in a difficult economy. Yeah, tough times are coming. But you know what? Humans have endured tough times before and we are truly brilliant. So don't let all those negative messages get to you. I want you to carry this message. Look at the kindness that is in this world. I mean, I see the evidence of it everywhere, every day, and it gives me so much hope. And I hope that seeing this helps you see that the human spirit is insanely good, that our bodies are brilliant and our minds are brilliant and we're strong. And when you get that little tug in your heart and you're thinking of someone, reach out and tell them how much they mean to you. Everyone in this journey, I've shared, Linda, one of my favorite people, she helped me through insurance. I said, Linda, I really appreciate you because when I'm feeling discouraged and frustrated with insurance, you're strong and you're going to bat for me. And I appreciate that. Tell someone you appreciate them, not just a thank you, not just an I appreciate you. Be specific. Carry compliments in your heart all day. If you could do that one thing for me, I'll be elated. Compliments all day long for one day. Really make them genuine, make them heartfelt, and watch the world around you change. I wouldn't be here post-surgery, moving forward so fast, if it wasn't for the amazing people on my medical team and in those offices who did their job insanely well. So go do your job well today. People need you. This is the intersections that exist of our personal and professional lives. So we have to shift from thinking the world's a bad place to shifting and believing people are insanely good and loving and kind. Shifting from I'm not good enough, I don't know if I'm going to make it, I'm scared, to yes, you will make it. And you know how? We make it together. we do things together. We support each other together through the smallest and sometimes largest acts of kindness. So that is my shift that I bring you today. And hopefully we'll be going live a little more often now that I've gotten through this stage. I will have radiation, chemo, or hormone therapy ahead of me. I'm not sure what that looks like, but we'll do it together. Love you all.